Hi everyone, welcome to Tiflydesigns. Today we're doing a special video. It's my first collaboration with someone on YouTube, and that special someone is Ray Hunter, and I'll be having a link to her video at the end of my video and also in my description here on this video. She's a very sweet lady, and I hope you guys will go over and check out her video once you finish mine. And just like I said, just click the link below and it'll take you right to her. And on my video, I'll be sharing 10 cards. On Ray's video, she'll be sharing 11 cards. And I hope you guys enjoy them and leave comments and subscribe and let us know how you feel about the cards. And here we go. So these are all the goodies from the February 2022 card kit from Simon Says Stamp, and it's called Season of Sentiment. And we have some beautiful images in the pattern paper, a beautiful big huge bouquet of flowers stamp, and a sentiment stamp. And here we go with our first card. The first card, I use one of the pattern papers, and I'm going to use the balloons, the heart balloon side, and I'm also going to use the sentiment that says love, love, love. So I cut the paper down in the middle. This one is going to be a slimline card, and somehow I'm going to cover up the part of the vehicle, the car at the bottom. So I'm just going around the sentiment and cutting it out, and then I'm gonna adhere it at the bottom to cover up the part of the car I don't want to be seen. So it looks like the balloons are hanging from the sentiment, or actually blowing or hanging, flying up from the sentiment. Once I have the sentiment where I want the sentiment to be, I'm using also another piece of pattern paper, a beautiful pink polka dot piece, and I'm adding my main focal point to the polka dot paper, and then adding my entire thing to a white card base. After I'm using some Nouveau glaze to go over all of the balloons, just to give them some shine and make them actually look like balloons. And once that's dried, that will be it for card number 1. For card number 2, I'm using also another pattern paper, and I'm making another slimline card. I'm interested in the bouquet at the top, so I'm going to figure out a way to cover the image on the bottom. As you can see, I cut that pretty floral piece of paper, and I'm going to add it where we have some of the navy blue at the top and the bottom. And then we're going to frame it with some pink paper, a pink cardstock, add it to a white card base. And in the center, I also added a piece of that pretty glitter pink paper that came in the kit. And that's it for card number 2. I just added, used one of my Copics to add some shading around the image, so it kind of pop off the paper a little. And like I said, that's it for card number 2. For card number 3, I'm using another piece of pattern paper, and I cut it in a way that I get the two edges, because on this piece of pattern paper there was a pattern of flowers in the bottom left and the top right. So I cut it in a way that I can get the two corners to be face to face, and then I'm adding a piece of pink cardstock in the center, and then I'm going to also add my sentiment to that, like so. I'm going to cut off the excess and use the die that came in the set that says "Miss You" to add our sentiment. So I cut the die comes in two pieces, the actual letters and then the, what do you call that, the shadow. So I cut the shadow in that pink not polka dot, glitter paper, and then I cut the words from some black cardstock and just added it to the front of my card. Then we're going to add this to a black card base. So cute. I thought it needed something else, so I added some pink cardstock around it first, and then I added it to the black card base. And you'll see a picture in a second. So here's my card. I thought that one was so cute. For card number 4, I love this pattern right here. It reminds me of Victorian images. I was trying to color it, so I didn't like how it looked. So I'm going to use a piece of that glitter pink paper and cover that up, and get to use my piece of pattern paper. So I cut off the excess, and then I cut a heart from some light pink paper, and I'm going to use the same die to add "Miss You" in the front of the heart, and then glue it to the glitter paper in the front. I wanted a lot of that Victorian pattern to show because I love it so much. I wanted to just have that as the front of my card, but I added something to kind of spruce it up a little. So "Miss You." Then I add my card front to a white card base. Add that little slim piece of black cardstock to add a little bit more, and that's it for card number 4. For card number 5, I love both sides of this pattern paper, so I was trying to decide which side I want. So I wanted some of the flowers just to add to that navy blue piece of cardstock. So I cut out the flowers and actually used the navy cardstock to cover where I cut out the flowers from. So I'm getting to use a lot of my pattern paper. So I boils down to I use the side with all the flowers. Add my navy blue piece of cardstock, and I cut out 3 of the flowers with their leaves so I can add it to the bottom, and then I use one of the sentiment stamps from the large stamp set. This is "Thank you for everything," and I am going to stamp it with some clear clear ink from Simon Says Stamp, and or embossing ink, and I'm going to use some white embossing powder to add my sentiment, and then I'll add my flowers at the bottom. Not sure why I keep stamping my sentiments when I emboss twice, because sometimes when you stamp it twice you kind of smudge the letters a little once you put your embossing powder on, and I don't understand why the embossing powder is still sticking at other places if I add the powder. I gotta figure that one out. But anyway, I heat my sentiment and finish up my card. Don't forget to visit Ray's channel through the link in my description so you can check out her video. I thought this was the prettiest. I love the flowers. And I just added to a white card base, and that's it for card number 5. Card 6 is the simplest in the bunch. I love that pattern paper with all the love, 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 love all over it. So I just added another piece of navy cardstock and cut out. I used some of my crazy. I have those die sets for so long. They're from Sizzix, and they usually come in this long box. I have so many of them, so I decided I need to start to use them. So I cut out the word you, because everything in the background is saying love, 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 love. So I put the word you. So it's pretty much saying love you. And then I'm going to add 3 hearts to the side of the word you. Add this to a blue card base. And that would be it for card number 6. Simple, simple, and simple. Sometimes you don't really have to go all out and have all this bunch of stuff on a card. The simplest card is sometimes the nicest one for you. If you look closely, I switched out one of the hearts for one of the glitter paper hearts, and I think they're so cute. Card 7 is pretty simple also. I actually traced this heart out using my pencil from one of the pattern paper. I wanted to get that part that says hugs and kisses, so I actually manually cut out the heart. So I just used a pencil and traced around it and cut it out. And then I used my punch, my heart punch, to cut out 2 extra ones, which I just added one to the side, to the right side, and the one at the bottom, I cut off the edge of it so it looks like it's the hearts are falling. And this is, like I said, very simple but very pretty. I just added to a white card base, and that's it for card number 7. For card number 8, I started by fussy cussing I meant fussy cutting this cake from this piece of pattern paper, and I'm just leaving a little white border around it so I don't have to be too careful. And I'm going to add it to that XO pretty kind of peachy pink paper that's coming up. Then this You Are So Sweet sentiment also came from that same pattern paper, so I'll just cut it out and I'm going to add it to the bottom of this XO paper. Like I said, I think this paper is such a pretty color. And the little stand at the bottom was starting to get on my nerves. First of all, it's like black and it's just taking over the front of the card because it brings your eyes directly to it. So I end up cutting it off. Goodbye to the cake stand. And the cake is just going to be sitting on a white tablecloth. And I'm going to use some foam adhesive to add it to my card front. Then I added to a white card base. Add some glaze to my little cherry on top and the icing on the cake. And that's it for card number 8. Card number 9 and 10 is going to come from this huge, beautiful bouquet of flowers. And this stamp is huge. So I ended up coloring the entire thing and then cut it apart to make 2 cards. So that would be cards number 9 and 10. So I have a piece of MFT watercolor cardstock and I added it to my Misty, and I'm using some VersaFine black ink, Onyx black ink, and then I'm going to stamp my image and then add some clear embossing powder to help my ink to stay in place pretty much, because I'm going to use some watercolor. And again, I'm using this very inexpensive watercolor from Amazon, and I didn't even plan what colors I was going to use. I'm just going to go with it. So here we go. Once I was done with my coloring, I cut my image in not half, two-thirds, two-thirds and one-third, I guess. And then one piece I'm going to add to this piece of black cardstock and add it to that pretty polka dot. I love polka dot pink and brown, pink and black together. So pretty. I'm going to put my sentiment to the bottom on that piece of black cardstock. I'm going to actually emboss it with some white embossing powder. The sentiment says, "You are wonderful." And I said I added to this polka dot pink and black cardstock. And for the other card, I add a piece of my colored image to a white card base. And I'm leaving that white space to the left. And I will be cutting the bottom off. But first I'm going to add my sentiment. The sentiment says, "What would I do without you?" And I'm going to stamp it right in that spot using the VersaFine ink again. So this is card number 9 and card number 10. I'm just going to add some of these, what are these called? Adhesive dots, but these are like glass, but they're just light pink ones. And I'm just adding like 3 to each. And that would be it for card number 9 and 10. Hope you guys like my 10 cards that I made, and will actually let me know what you think. Which one is your favorite, and just leave me a comment in the description box. And don't forget to subscribe so you can see my next video. I'm trying to be more active on YouTube. I've been so crazy with work and full-time job and stuff like that. So hope we'll see each other again. You'll visit again, and don't forget to visit Ray's channel. Like I said, I have a link to her video in the description box, and there will be a link at the end of the video. And please visit her channel, show her some love, and we hope we'll see you again. And when you get over there, just subscribe to her channel so you can see all her pretty cards that she makes. And again, I want to thank you guys for watching both videos, and hope you will come back, and I'll see you next time. We'll see you next time. Bye.